Kroll. I'm the chairperson for the School of Nursing, and together with the um, organization of work-life lifelong learning, we are both, going to offer this program. This is a federal grant, so there's a lot of I'm going to say red tape that needs to be taken care of, but Amy will take care of that. I'm just going to go and explain to you what the program itself is in terms of the education, and then you'll hear about how to get in, how to apply, and other things. Go ahead. Oh, do we want to all introduce ourselves, or do we already do? Amy, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure, thank you. Yeah, no, I have not introduced myself yet, so thank you for that. My name is Amy Fest. I think a lot of you have emailed me for the link to this information session. I am with the Office of Workforce and Lifelong Learning, and we are partnering with the School of Nursing. We're very excited to be offering the CNA opportunity. We will be providing you with information on next steps at the end of the presentation. So just sit tight. And if you have any questions, please wait till the end because your questions will probably be answered along the way. So if you could just wait to the end, we'll take questions at the end. Thank you.
If you can all just please use the chat feature to ask your questions, please remain muted the entire time. Again, please use the chat feature to answer questions so that nobody's talking over each other and so that we don't have to worry about any feedback. I will be monitoring the chat to review all the questions, and anything that is not answered, Amy Fest will respond via email or send out some sort of FAQ. Thank you.
All right, so to get started, we can move on to slide number 1, 2. All right, so the program dates are set already. This program is going to begin December 6th, which is a Monday night. The program will be Monday nights and Saturdays. During the month of December, the program will be December 6th to the 22nd. No classes on the 23rd or through the 9th of January. And in December, it'll be the Monday night and then Saturday during the day, which is 8 to 4 p.m. All classes are mandatory to attend. Absences will result in an inability to sit for the certification. So when you are thinking about joining the program, you have to keep in mind that these are the dates. The state requires you to complete a set number of hours to sit for the certification, and we have to report to the state that you have completed those hours. And plus, it is a very condensed program, and there's a lot learning going on. So it really it behooves you to be present at all classes. There is no classes December 23rd through that we will restart on January 12th. All right, so in terms of books and equipment, the grant provides, okay, I'm going to repeat myself. It is on the PowerPoint, but just so for all you to understand, the class is already, the timeline for the class is set. It starts December 6th, which is a Monday night, 6 to 9 p.m. And then the next day, it will be a Saturday, which is 8 to 4. Those are the times of the class. There's no other time. The only other variation will be when I talk about clinical. But for the entirety of the program, it'll be December 6th through February 23rd. All books will be provided the first day of class at no cost to you. Uniforms, we will identify a vendor, and whoever gets, applies and gets in will be notified of the vendor that they need to go and get their uniform, no cost to you. Any supplies that you need during the program, it will be provided by the grant. Any questions regarding that, please feel free to put that in the chat box. In terms of labs and clinical, the class is designed in a way that you will be doing labs and theory at the same time. You will be taking the classes in a lab room that affords you the opportunity to learn and then practice as you're going along. This grant requires that or certification for a CNA program requires that you have 16 hours of clinical. We have designated 2 weekends for clinical. So we will divide the group in 2, 10 each weekend, and the clinical days will be As stated on the screen, January 30th and 31st will be one group, and the second group will be February 6th and the 7th. Each student is required to do one weekend only. Each day is 8 hours, and you must complete the 16 hours to be able to be eligible for testing or for certification. Now, after you've completed the entire program, the 100 hours, you've done your labs, your clinicals, you now are ready for testing. The testing will be uh, either the first or second week in March, and it all depends on what the state who gives us the test dates will give us. So once we have a roster, we will submit to the state and we will get our test dates. We're hoping that you test the first week in March following the finish of the program so you can get started. Any questions regarding that? And just so you know that the test is computerized, the theory part will be computerized, followed by a practicum. So once you pass the test, or once you take the computerized test, then you will be going to the lab and you will do a practicum. The instructor for the course will go over the things that you need to know in order to pass the practicum. Obviously, all this requires you to study, prepare yourself, practice. A lot of the times, you practice in the lab, but you can practice at home so that you're ready to pass the test. Um, Chelsea, any questions?
There are plenty of questions coming in, but I want you to just focus on go ahead and finish the slide and then we can address it afterwards.
Okay, so I'm done with this.
Oh, okay.
All right,
So a
so
lot of questions have been coming in, but Amy, did you want to add anything before I go to the questions?
do you want to do step two, next steps?
Yeah, I
All
think
right, why don't we
go
finish
ahead.
up and then finish the questions?
Okay.
No. Go ahead. You're muted.
Okay, sorry about that. The PowerPoint is not letting me control some of my screen without me it's not letting me control my screen. Okay, hold on a minute. Let me go back to my page. Sorry. It was not letting me control my screen and unmute at the same time. Okay, can everybody see my PowerPoint? I'm assuming you can. So, um, so next steps. So after this webinar is over this evening, we will be sending out an email to everybody that is on the webinar, and it will contain a link to this recording, and it will contain, which will have this PowerPoint embedded, and it will contain a link to the application. So the application is going to determine both eligibility based on both financial need and program readiness so that we can see if you should be considered. There are 20 seats available. So the eligibility is you must be 18 years of age. And I know somebody had a question that I'll be 18 after the first day of the program. I will leave that to Maria because I don't know if the state says you have to be 18 before or if you can be 18 during the program. We will answer that question in a minute. You must be seeking current full-time employment as a CNA or a patient technician. You must be legally able to work in the United States. You must be able to attend all classes and clinicals. That's the number one question I see coming up in the chat. That will be a requirement. You will have to sign on that you will be able to attend everything. You have to be willing to complete a background check and a drug screening, and you have to be willing to submit health forms. Those are all requirements to be considered. One of the other requirements is that everybody who applies will have to, during the application, is the CT Hires account. It's a pretty simple document to set up. We will send you and some information right now. And when we send out all this other information, it will give you all of the directions to set it up. It shouldn't take you more than 10 or 15 minutes. But because this program is funded through a grant, every single person who applies for the scholarship has to set up a CT Hire account, which is actually a good thing. There's some great job opportunities there. So that should be very helpful for those of you who are actually looking for a position. And my final slide before we talk a little bit more, all applications must be submitted by Monday, November 17th at 5 p.m. to be considered. We will be having a hard stop at 5 p.m. I have to tell you that there are There are 20 slots, and we have had a lot of interest. So please don't email me at November 17th at 5:05 and ask for, to submit late. We're going to have a hard stop to be fair for everybody. Could you be older than 18? Yes. And is this a one-time program or will the others? Right now, this is one time. But we are looking for additional opportunities for programs in the future that may have some funding that go with them. So, I can only tell you right now that we have seats for 20 people. Do we hope to have more in the future? Yes. That is nothing that is a surety right now, though. So right now we're only focusing on this one. And if you already have a CT Hires account, that's perfectly fine. Just yes, you'll just need your username. Um, and I think I'm gonna look to see what some of the other questions are that I may kind of just need. I haven't been able to watch them all. They're coming through as I've been talking.
Yeah,
So
so a lot of the some of the questions that have been coming in are about people who are currently working and want to participate in this program. So, can either of you talk a little bit about holding a current position and trying to do this program?
That is, if you're able to come to class on Monday night, 6 to 9 p.m., and class on Saturday, 8 to 4, every single week that the class is being held, then, and I think Amy can speak to this, that the other part would be is that if you're obviously trying to scale up your position, or if you, then you can do it. This is not for people who are have a job and are, a current, how do I say it, job and are not trying to scale, but just trying to get a part-time job to make extra money. So,
People with commitments.
yeah,
right.
yeah, this is definitely for somebody who's looking to upskill their job or to get a job because they're unemployed now. If you are in a job right now and you're just looking to do this because you want a part-time job after, that's not what this scholarship is for. This is for people who are in a position where this would be considered a higher level position than what they're doing now, or be a full-time job because right now they only have a part-time job. It is not only for Southern students at all. Anybody can apply for this. You do not need to be a Southern student. I don't, Maria, can you speak to the medical documents? I am actually not sure what the medical, if whether it's is for immunizations, I know is part of it too, but I don't know what the other pieces of it are.
So generally we ask for a last physical in order to be able to do clinical. So, but most importantly, you need to have had a flu shot and a COVID shot. We are going to go and do clinical in um, uh, uh, skill facilities and nursing homes. And so nursing homes will not allow anyone that is not immunized against the flu or COVID.
There was also a question that, like, do you need to be actively looking for a CNA job? No. That's what this is for. We're here to help you get training and then to help you get a clinical placement and to get a job. So it would be great if you are looking for one at the same time, but you don't need to be actively looking for one right now. That is part of what this grant is for. And a few people are asking, how can I apply? How can I apply? So let me just repeat that one more time in case you came in late. Um, After this webinar is over, between now and tomorrow morning, because we need to make sure we collect everybody's email addresses who registered, you will be getting an email from the Office of Workforce and Lifelong Learning, and it will give you a link to tonight's webinar, so you can rewatch it if you would like to. It will be giving you a link to the application, and it will be giving you some information about setting up your CT Hires account if you don't have one yet. So you will be getting all of that information after the webinar is over. There's nowhere else to go. They'll all be right in that email that you receive. And again, you have until Monday, November 17th at 5 p.m. to put the application in and to set up your CT Hires account.
In reference again to the class, I think I made a mistake when I said December 6th is a Saturday. That's when the class will begin. It's 8 to 4 following the following Monday, Monday night. And then Saturday, the last class will be Monday the 22nd. We will resume classes again on January 12th. We realize people are busy over the holidays and we don't want to have people miss class because of their other commitments. We will resume. We do not have class on Martin Luther King Day, so that will be anything that's considered a federal holiday. There won't be a class. So the way we've designed the program is around all these holidays in January and then in February. The last class will be December 23rd. And then after that, we will hopefully already by the time we begin the class and everybody's registered to start the class, I will know the test dates within a week so that you can make arrangements. And we will tell you ahead of time what clinical group you will fall into so that you can also make arrangements. And those days are Saturday and Sunday. And the reason for that is because you need to complete 2 days in a row. And we do generally do it on the weekend because of work schedules.
So
Any?
there are a lot of questions being asked if somebody cannot get a shot like a COVID shot or a flu shot. Do we accept kind of a
No,
doctor's note?
no,
Okay. The clinical part is Maria's question, so I'm going to totally defer to her those. The other one says there's 20 slots. Do you guys pick? So it's that we are going to be choosing based on eligibility. So when you fill out the application, it will tell you all of the requirements. And so for those individuals who go all the way through and they meet all the eligibility requirements, we will then be having there's a very short question of why do you want to do this program, and we will be reading those, and based on those responses, if all things being equal, you met all the other criteria for the program, then we will be having those responses read and choosing from those essays for the 20 slots. So that's how it's gonna work.
somebody's asking regarding, how are you eligible to work? If you reside in the in the United States and you have a visa that gives you legal status to work, then you can apply for the program. If you are here on a student visa, on a tourist visa, you cannot apply for this visa, for this program. This is a federal program, so all those things. And if you didn't have a visa that permitted you to work, then it would not be you wouldn't be eligible to take the program. Anybody who takes this program has to be able to work within 2 years of finishing this program. Our goal is that you work within a month of you you will know the day that you test whether you are going to certify. So the day you test, you will know that you passed the written, we'll call it a written portion, even though it's computerized, the written portion and the practicum, you will know before you leave the lab that you have passed. And then you can look forward to your certification coming from the state of Connecticut, and then you can begin employment. During this period, um, the New Haven Chamber of Commerce, I think, will be holding a job fair. We haven't figured out the date of it yet, but they're working with um, the OWL office to hold a job fair.
And Maria, we have two questions that I don't know the answer to. One is, do you have to be 18 when you sit for the exam, or 18 when you start the program, or when you start your clinical? Like, is there a date that 18 has to be? And the second one is, if you're 18 but in high school, are you still eligible to go into the program? And I just want to make sure I don't answer incorrectly. If you can just answer those two questions, please.
It depends on like the plans, no? Like, are you going on to college? You need to think about this is a job for people, a program for people who are not employed or who are seeking to become CNAs to be employed as CNAs. So if that's not the goal, then this is not a spot that you want to take from others who are seeking. But you need to be 18 in order to work in a skill facility. You can take the program. It's offered anywhere in the state of Connecticut. It's offered in high schools, but the problem is that you need to be 18 to be able to work.
So if they're 18, by the time they take the exam, then they should be fine. If they're 17, turning 18, like in January, they can still apply for the program, correct?
Right.
And if you're in high school, 18, and decide that this is what you want to do as a permanent career, and you're committed to getting a job after high school and you're not going to be taking off to college, you can also apply.
Right.
Trying to see if there's any other questions.
Just a couple more questions about just the health requirements. Are they annual? And if there's allergic reactions, like if someone is allergic to taking the flu shot or anything like that, are there any circumstances? Just to be clear, this is not a required, like the flu shot and the COVID shot is not something that we are requiring. This is a
The
standard for
facility.
Connecticut. So this is not something that we're saying you have to do because we want you to do it. This is what all the healthcare professionals are doing, working directly with patients.
The thing about it is that we are going to be doing our 2-day clinical in a skilled facility, and the people who are there are vulnerable. So most people, facilities will not allow us to bring students who are not do not have those vaccination, those immunizations.
Marie, I've had a couple people in the chat who are asking if they're currently in the nursing program at Southern or at another school, are they eligible to apply?
No.
I did answer that question earlier to
Okay.
also say that after your first year in the nursing program, you are able to work as a student nurse tech in a hospital. So I would really recommend using that opportunity instead of seeking employment or opportunity as a CNA because shortly after you will be an RN and you'll be a nurse. So the whole point is to, increase more CNAs in the workforce and help meet the demand. So if you're currently in a nursing program, there are other opportunities for you already pursuing the education you have.
And there is no requirement for testing. You just need to reach out to a hospital. And most hospitals usually have a fair to hire students after they know that they've completed a certain amount of their education. And it's usually the first semester after you've had your first clinical. Or after you've had your first clinical, you're eligible to work as a patient care technician or whatever the title of the designated healthcare facility. And there's no testing required because you're not getting a CNA. You're going to be working as a PCT or PCA. Any other questions?
Um, Two that I see, yes, everybody will get all this information, hopefully within the next 24 hours, as long as that my goal is to send this all out tomorrow morning. We just need to download everybody's email address who signed up for the webinar. Um, and then somebody asked if you're not a nursing student, but just student, but happen to be a Southern student. Yes, you're very well able to apply. It doesn't, you can be a Southern student and apply as long as you meet the requirements. And it says, do we need to get both flu and COVID prior to applying? No. Once you're accepted, you will need to have proof with a health form of having the flu and the COVID shots, not for applying. For once you're accepted, those students who are accepted will have to turn in that form to show, or their spot, they will not have their spot and will move down to the list to somebody who was not accepted and accept somebody on the list.
But for all those who are not Southern students, please do not think that priority will be given to them. Priority will be given to the people that meet the utmost criteria that we set at the beginning of the meeting. And that would be that you are seeking to get employment or you are seeking to upward your career, wherever job you have now, and you want to elevate it. And then, down the road, seek nursing. That's up to you, or other healthcare facility,
And
other healthcare profession.
And Maria, just if you're a current nursing student, to what when you said, you can definitely apply, but you won't. The priority will be for those individuals who are meeting the criteria, and that may mean that you are not going to be in one of the top 20, given kind of your trajectory. So, there's only 20 spots. That's so you're still welcome to apply, but I think your chances would be probably not as high to get the one of the scholarships. Everyone's really worried about the shots. I would say be less concerned about your shots. If you are accepted as one of the 20 students and you need to complete the health form will say that you need to go get a COVID and a flu shot and then have proof of that with when it gets sent back to us. So at this point, I would not necessarily let that be your biggest hang up. If you are one of the 20 folks that we reach out to after we get all the applications, um, we will be able to then get you the health form, and then you'll have the time to get that. You'll have a week or so to schedule an appointment and get those. Um, I just keep getting a lot of questions. If I'm in the nursing program or trying to get in the nursing program, can I apply? Again, anybody can apply. It's open. It's open for everybody. But if you are in the nursing program, there is a good chance that there'll be other people who probably meet the qualifications of upskilling and reskilling, and where they are in their financial trajectory. That may mean that you don't have one of the top 20 slots. You're very welcome to apply.
Just so we all understand, while Southern is hosting this class, offering it, it's not a class for Southern students only. It's a class for anybody who qualifies. If you're already a student, I suggest you go to Banner and look up the HLS offering because they offer the course there for you as a student. So trying to tie up a spot for other community members who may be seeking employment or training to be employed, um, it is not going to give you an opportunity. So I think that I suggest you go to Banner, look up healthcare studies. They offer the course there.
The specific criteria again, let me go back on that slide. So there in front of you is the criteria right now. 18 years of age. And again, 18 years of age when you sit for your testing, currently seeking full-time employment as a CNA or patient technician, legally able to work in the United States, able to attend all classes and clinicals, willing to complete a background check and a drug screening, willing to submit health forms. Classes are all going to be held at Southern Clinicals. I believe Maria will also be held in New Haven, correct?
Yes, it will be held. Currently, our facility will be Mary Way.
And somebody just said, can you discuss a bit more about the curriculum and how the classroom will be structured?
The classes will be, as I mentioned, you will learn the material and you will practice. You will learn the material and you will practice so that by the time you go to the clinical, you have um, master the skills you need to master. And by the time you test, we are confident that you will pass. You will get a book, you will need to study. It will be up to you how successful you are if you practice and go over the material that the instructor will give you.
I just changed the slide because there were some questions about the times of the classes, so I just put that up there so everybody can see it.
Monday nights, 6 to 9 p.m. We will take attendance. We will monitor the time. We cannot report that you were there for the 3 hours and the 8 hours if you were not there for those 3 hours and 8 hours. So if you can't be there for 6, then this is not the program for you. And then on Saturdays, 8 to 4. So those are mandatory times. We have made the program just enough to meet the criteria for the state. We don't want to overburden people with unnecessary training hours when they can easily master the content and successfully certify at the end of it. And the place that you will get the uniforms is also in New Haven. So everything is in New Haven for people who are maybe questioning that.
Is a stethoscope provided?
Yes. All equipment that you need for the lab will be provided.
Okay, I think we're pretty much coming to a wrap up. Again, we're going to send this out to everybody. There may be some questions that we didn't answer. Some of them may be very specific to somebody's unique situation. What I would suggest to everybody is when you get the application, to go through the application. If you still have questions, reach out. You all should have contact information for me. And you can reach out with specific questions and I will, if I don't know the answer, I will reach out to Maria. Um, and we will get your answers and get back to you. For right now, I would say the biggest thing would be, um, fill out that application and hold on one second. I just saw somebody who asked one question that I just want to make sure this is for CNA. Yes. The training is going to be in New Haven at Southern Connecticut State University. And I think that's it. Maria, thank you for your time this evening. Greatly appreciate it. And I appreciate Stephanie taking the chat. That was very helpful, and I think we're okay.
And thank you, Chelsea,
Chelsea, yes,
for
yeah,
it. So we will be in touch with, after everybody follows the instructions, with who you will hear from us if you get in. I don't believe that you will respond to every person. You will only notify the people that get into the program. And since we are starting this very quickly, it's going to be a quick turnaround from the time that the deadline ends to the time you are notified.
thank you very much.
All right.
And Chelsea, I think you can stop the recording now.